first? Ladies. Who's first? Ladies. Who's first? Ladies. What time is it? It's time for the ladies. 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 It's the Ladies First Chit-Chat Crew. It's time for the ladies. You want. Be great. Speak what you want. Be great. Speak what you want. Be great. And we're up first. Bonjour, unboxed. Bonjour, unboxed. Bonjour, unboxed. And we're up first. Yes, ladies. That's dope. Yes, ladies. That's dope. Yes, ladies. That's dope. And we're up first. It's time for the ladies. Chit-Chat Crew. One time for the ladies in the house. Two time make the people scream and shout. Lachelle, Chandra, Crystal with Nikki, Unboss, Edmay, and Nikki. Hey, 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 hey. L-A-D-I-S, I-S, I-S, L-A-D-I-S, and we're up first. L-A-D-I-S, I-S, I-S, L-A-D-I-S, and we're up first.
Hey. What's up, y'all? Happy Saturday. Welcome to the Ladies First Chit-Chat Crew, where we honor the voice of the everyday woman. Woo! How y'all doing today?
We good.
We good?
We good.
We good. Speaking of the everyday woman, it is Women's History Month. And last week was International Women's Day. And today is another special day. And y'all know.
Birthday.
Somebody in here, it's your birthday.
Hey.
Somebody in here, it's your birthday.
Hey.
Somebody in here, it's your birthday.
Hey.
Everybody move like it's your birthday.
Holla at a birthday girl.
Mama, don't break it down on your birthday.
Hey. Hey.
Celebrate, girl. Nobody can compare with you. Birthday in January, so she get Aquarius.
Come on, Johnny.
Like Darius, but she look better than most chicks in her
Hold
area.
on. I'm trying to get my DJ John quick on. Hey.
We gon' party like it's your birthday. We gon' sip the party like it's your birthday.
Wait, no, I'm not the clean one.
It's the
Shell's birthday, y'all. Holla at her in the chat. Say what's up, Shelly? Happy birthday. You know my favorite one.
Hey, these keys, homeboy, don't move my car, man. I'm right in the front, you dig? Don't move my shit, man. Oh, baby, what's your name?
What's your name?
It's your birthday.
Hey.
Oh, your Thursday.
Don't y'all just tuning in. It's the Shell's birthday.
We don't buy no drinks at the bar. Pop champagne, cause we got that gold. Let me hear you say,
Hey. Wait a minute. I got two more.
Oh, you are killing it today.
For the birthday cheese, 2 times for the birthday cheese, 3 times for the birthday cheese. Go ahead if it's your birthday cheese. Get up if it's your birthday. Get up if it's your birthday.
Hey!
Get up if it's your birthday.
What?
Get up if it's your birthday.
You a bad bad. Okay. Can I play this one? Every time I hear this song, I think of you. I put this on my Insta story today. Happy birthday, Shelly!
Thank you.
Hey.
Just as fine as she can be.
Yay! We love you. Happy
love y'all.
birthday, sister.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Thank
honey.
you, ladies.
Yum.
And since it is your birthday, I want people, Shelly, you got to tell them what's going on. Shelly has this amazing deck and journal. I'm putting it up.
Yes.
And she has this amazing deck and journal that she has. And I say on Shelly's birthday, go get yourself this gift. Her deck journal. It's a daily practice that provides 60 questions to help you discover your true desires for 365 days, which will show you your best self and the version of your life. Shelly, tell the people a little bit about your journal. Since it's your birthday, tell them about it.
It is literally my birthday wish. Look how pretty this is. Look at this.
Beautiful.
Honey, and this is a box, honey. You will have this for years to come. But it really is, if you want to get me a gift, get this for yourself. Really, because it is almost 2 years of work that I put into crafting these questions to make you think about things that you don't think about that are really key for your happiness all the time. So it is fun. It is once a day. You do it once a day for a year, and guaranteed you will be elevated, motivated, happier, and more aligned with your desires than you ever have been before. So give this to yourself as a gift. It's amazing. So I love it.
Where can they find it, Shelly? They can go to IG.
They can go to shop.lachellewooten.com. Just add shop dot. Look at, hold on. Just add shop dot to the front of lachellewooten.com. And it's right there.
Lachelle Wooten.
Yep. Treat yourself. Listen, I have a few people who ordered and got it already, and I've been getting text messages. They're like, girl, the first card blew my mind. I couldn't believe what I answered. You got it right. You got it right. No?
Didn't spell your name right. I messed up. I put a W.
No.
Do it again. Keep talking.
People are getting really amazing, enlightened ideas, feeling more connected, and shifting. They are shifting in the direction that they want to be going in. And they've only had this deck in their hands about a week. So let's go. Let's make this year the best year ever.
Let's make this year the best year ever. Go to shop.lachellewooten.com. It's the best birthday gift that you can give Shelly, and the best birthday gift you can give to yourself. The best gift you can give to yourself. Yay! All this birthday love you getting today.
I love it. Thank you, everybody.
First of all, I got to give a happy birth of your daughter day to Miss Flirty Murdy. I see you on Murdy.
Yes, Flirty
happy
Murdy.
Birth of your daughter day,
season.
This is great. This is amazing. Let me bring us all back together. Hold on. We back. Nikki, you here? You here?
Am I stuttering? Am I slow? Or am I on point?
No, you're on point, and I missed the celebration. So happy birthday.
Thank you, my friend, my sister.
I'm turning. So.
What? So how's everybody doing this morning on Shelly's birthday? Shawnee, how you doing? You still look like you have no baby inside of you.
There is.
How many weeks we got?
We are 5 weeks away, y'all.
Oh.
Wow.
The countdown is real. It's real. I turned 35 weeks. I always post a week behind, so I'll post like I'm 34 weeks, but I'm really the week above. So I turned 35 weeks this week, and We 5 weeks
Yes.
away. I feel good though. I feel good though. I was so glad that we had a little bit of extra celebration time because I was sitting here throwing something down my throat real quick because I was like starving.
I get it.
I was like, I made these little dumb look little baby pancakes for Callie, and I was like, "Can I have one of your pancakes, please?" She's like, "Yeah, mommy, yeah."
You look
Oh,
Thank you. But I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. Shelly, you looking great. Happy birthday, queen, honey.
thank you, baby girl.
I'm just like, yes. That's Shelly. I stole that from Shelly, by the way. Yes.
Young.
I love this picture. I feel like this picture just you see it's got yellow in the background, right, Shelly? I feel like
That's my color.
I feel like it's her birthday. Nikki Nick, what you doing? You on the road again?
Oh my God, just trying to get connected. Yes, I am. I am in South Carolina. The games have officially begun for SEC tournament. So SEC play. So that's where I am. So thanks for being with me this morning. I can't believe I missed your celebration, but happy birthday, Shelly Shell.
Thank you, Nick.
L Cool Shells. Oh, Keisha's on. Keisha, happy birthday of your big sister day. Keisha's on. And you notice that our sister Crystal, she's probably watching. Crystal is the epitome of what our show is about today. Crystal actually had to travel today. And you know, Chrissy, she wanted to be on with us. And we're like, rest, my queen. Rest. Rest, my queen. Today's show, everyone, is called Wonder Women Need Rest Too. Say it again for the people in the balcony. Wonder Women need rest too. And
Amen.
I am speaking to myself when it comes to that. And I wrote out to everyone, what's the difference between resting and sleeping? And are you allowing yourself to get either one? Think about it. When Tosh was on, she talked about how she takes naps. She says, and I think about that, and I'm like, I think we all need rest, we need sleep, we need naps. And as women specifically, we don't do that a lot for ourselves. I know I can speak for myself. I had a really good friend that said to me, Nikki, I think you're resting. Okay, you're giving yourself some rest. And they asked me, are you sleeping? I don't think you're sleeping. And so it made me, look up what's the difference between rest and sleep. And then I saw this quote that said, rest is power. And then it said, sleep is a free resource that can be life-changing. I want us to unpack that today. Are you resting? Are you sleeping? And, I went more into it. And they were saying that, I'm a paraphrase, that rest is something that, you give yourself, your mind a chance to, your brain a chance to settle down. That's why people say meditation is great, or either vegging out in front of the TV or taking the TV away. I know for me, because I'm around people all day and I talk all day, sometimes in my house, I will be in the house and I will have nothing on, music, nothing, just to allow my mind to rest. And we need that for our bodies. But then also we got to sleep, because sleeping makes us really shut down and go into the RPM. And I know we're going to talk about the benefits of getting rest and the benefits of sleeping. But I'll ask y'all, sometimes we think rest is a luxury. Why is that? It's not a luxury. It's a must. Why is that?
Sometimes we don't think about it at all.
That's true.
Girl.
I mean, I am I don't think I rest, and I don't really sleep until like you have to. It's interesting just to share as we kick off. Like yesterday, I was by myself, right? My husband's here today, but I was by myself, and there was such a understood appreciation for the quietness that was around me when I was sitting by myself doing nothing looking at some really silly things on my phone. First, I found myself looking at emails. Then somehow I got pulled to something else. I think I looked at some TikToks or something that you had all shared. And then it just kind of rolled into others. And all of a sudden, I found myself lost sitting there for about 2 hours. Didn't even realize. And then I went upstairs, and you know how you're in the room by yourself, and there was something that came over me that was like, wow, this feels really good. But then I went to the TV, and all of a sudden the noise from the TV was just bothersome. And I turned it off. And I just was in another world, and I was just ready to sleep, to like lay down and enjoy the quietness. Yes. So I'll start it off with, I'm guilty of not doing either. And it's not until I'm put into a situation where I'm forced to face the fact that I don't rest and I don't, even when I'm trying to, it's not peaceful, right? It's not without, interruption.
Yeah. I don't know us with the naps. Remember when we were little?
Well, let me tell you, naps always serve for old people.
Listen, Linda, my naps, they take over. They take over with or without me.
but it was always like something that said to me, Nikki, you're getting old, so you can't take a nap. I'm afraid I was going to miss something.
No.
What's old, right?
FOMO.
Like, that's how the older stay young.
But I used to feel like, I've gotten better since we started the Ladies First Chit-Chat Crew. But I used to feel like I couldn't take a nap because that meant I had to keep working. Like, I understand people were really upset about Kim Kardashian's response about working and but I know as an entrepreneur, I would always feel like I had to work and I had to keep moving. And even when I didn't have anything to do, I was inventing something else to do. Or I think also, or I would take on everybody else's stuff to do because I felt like if I took a nap, that meant, or if I stopped to rest, that meant that I wasn't working. And as, the pandemic forced us to slow down and also being around you lovely ladies, I started to add rest into my life. And as I started to really sit down, meditate, turn the TV off, just sit for a moment, giving myself that grace, I found myself being more productive. However, like I said, my friend said, you look like you rest, but do you sleep? I don't sleep. I will rest. I will close my eyes. Well, I won't say I don't sleep. I will close my eyes and everything is running across here. Running. And the other day I woke up and I did a child's pose in the bed and my body felt rested, but I literally had tears in my eyes because I was like, I'm tired, I'm sleepy. I hadn't slept. Yeah. What is that about?
Listen, before a few weeks ago, I started taking breaks in the middle of my day. And I just started this a few weeks ago because y'all know me. I am high energy, right? I sleep. I get a minimum of 7 hours of sleep almost every night of the week. I sleep. And when I go, I fall into like a coma because I realize in thinking about this topic, once I'm up, I'm going until I'm asleep again. I don't rest, I sleep. And not having both is not good. We have to have them both, right? Yeah. So I did start taking these breaks in the middle of my day. And I realized when we talked on Thursday that this whole thing where I was always forced to take a nap when I was in like preschool. Remember they used to make you take out the little cots and it was nap time. I never wanted to nap, right? I wanted to stay up. I wanted to talk. I wanted to see what we could do. And they were like, lay down, LaShelle, lay down. And so it was a struggle for me to nap. But I understood later on, like when I got to college, why those naps are necessary. But I don't understand why culturally we stop them, right? In this country, because in other parts of the world, the whole place shuts down. Businesses, everything shuts down 2 and 3 hours in the middle of the day so that people can restore themselves sort of halfway through their day's journey. But I think for women, we have real guilt associated with resting and slowing down, with saying no to the things on our plate, to the things on other people's plates that we are committed to supporting. And it is killing us. It really is damaging our physical health and our mental well-being. And so I know where you're coming from, Nikki, when you say like you will lay down and your mind will go. I have that same problem. So what I do, for me, TV or music has the opposite effect. When I listen to songs, I can't help but sing along. So the lyrics are the only thing in my head. And it's not all the things that I want to work on or what I have to get in the mail or who I have to call back. And when I watch TV, I am a real consumer of entertainment. I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm totally in. I want, what's the story? Why is she crying? Like, I'm totally in. So that means that my world is totally out. And that really is a resting point for me. But the big thing is we each have to figure out what brings us to that resting point, because we don't think about it. Like Nikki said, she doesn't even, like, we don't even think about rest and sleep.
I don't think about it until I look beat. You know how you wake up in the morning and you look in the mirror and you like, where all them bags come from? And then you start to figure out how you can get rid of them. Yeah,
rest and sleep.
I'm guilty. And I do exactly
designer bags, honey.
Designer bags. They don't look too designer. And then the same thing that you talk about, it just, everything that I worry a lot. I worry about a lot of people. I worry about a lot. So I'm guilty.
Yeah.
You know, I think it makes me think about, I have a girlfriend who has a podcast, and either this week or last week on her podcast, it's her and her husband. And they were playing a game, and one of the questions on the game was, if you had 3 days alone without anyone, your children, your husband, your no one, without anyone, just yourself, what would you do? And you had to be completely unplugged. No phone, no TV, no internet, just completely unplugged for 3 days. What would you do? And I thought she was going to be like, because she's an avid reader, she's a avid scrapbooker, and like she does all these what we quote unquote unplugged activities all the time anyway. So I thought she would just be like listing it out. But it was so hard for her to say. She was like, oh my God, I feel bad even saying like I would rest and I would like, take advantage of being alone. And then she was just like, I don't know if I could actually spend 3 days by myself.
But that's because she takes those moments. That's what I'm hearing from you. Like she reads, she does these things that like allow her to disconnect. Is that the reason why?
No, I don't think it was that. I think it was more so she was just like, when she's doing it on her regular day-to-day schedules,
right?
It's more of like, my baby, I may be reading, but my baby's right here doing an activity as well. Okay. But like having that moment of like, I'm away from everyone, it's just, she felt guilty for whatever reason.
Well, I'm going to tell you, if you how things are timely, like, because had I not had yesterday and you had asked me that question, I would have told you, I don't want to be by myself. I love it. And I would have told you that I'd be lost. Like, no, I mean, I like to a moment or two by myself. But I love being around people and I love, talking and hanging out and doing whatever. But yesterday, for the first time ever, last night, I understood my friends that go on trips by themselves.
Yeah.
I understood that you didn't have to have tea or anything, and you would enjoy it. It was the first time ever that I can honestly look at you and say, I actually thought, I get this. You know, my husband's supposed to be going away in a couple weeks, and I said to myself, I think I better hire the lady to come watch the dog, because
Yeah.
I really enjoyed having nothing and no one around me.
Remember was it last year? I don't know. Time has gone so fast. But remember I just like picked up and went away for 4 days.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember.
I was like on the brink. I was like, I'm about to break in half and I need a moment to recoup and like rejuvenate. And I didn't even know what that actually was or what I needed really.
Right.
I just was like, I know this what's happening right now, ain't it? So
Right.
I need to figure it out. And my wife was like, do what you do. I'll take off work. And I found this little cottage
I remember that.
It was like an hour away, hour and a half away on this farm. So cute, little bitty baby, like, you know, studio apartment. And I went there for 3.5, 4 days. And that was the best thing.
Yeah.
I've never, granted, I've been alone. You know, I lived alone. I've been on my own since I was 18. Like I've been alone, but I've never had concentrated alone time.
Yeah.
Like that I set aside for myself.
Yeah.
And that experience, I was like, I got to do this every year.
Yeah.
Space to appreciate it. Because let me tell you, I have been alone, and until yesterday and having that whole experience, it was like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? Who can I call? Like I'm looking to fill the space.
Yeah.
So do you think, like, how do you, I don't know if we even have any thoughts about how do you get yourself in that space if you haven't come to that point where it's either all of a sudden shown to you you need it, like me, or in your case, you took it, right? You felt like, well, this ain't happening. Let me go do this. So,
well, that's the thing. I think that's where we, as our sisterhood, are trying to figure that out. Is how do we prevent getting to that breaking point?
Right.
You know, because I was at a breaking point. Like I told my wife, if you look at me wrong, I'm over.
It's over.
You know, if Callie says mommy one more time, I'm going to flip.
Yeah.
And I had to, welcome, come eat. And I had to, you know, I had to do something about it. But what do we need to do to prevent getting to that point? Because that point is unhealthy.
I think that's when it comes to, like Shelly has said, it's almost like we got to put in our schedule every day.
Exactly.
You know, Crystal's not here. You know, Crystal shares these great stories about happy birthday, May James.
Happy birthday.
Yes, my Pisces twin.
Yes.
May.
Happy birthday, that's Crystal's mom, everybody. And Crystal shares these great stories about her mom and how her mother took effort and put it into her day, into her schedule. Yeah. And I found myself lately putting it in my day. I think I shared with you guys, I shared with Brittany, I do well when I make space in my day. Mm-hmm. And I used to think I didn't. I used to think I had to have it back to back to back to back to back to back to back. And I realized that I make better decisions. I slow down, and I have gotten to a place, I know at least 4 times a week, I make space in my day to have a resting period. Mm-hmm. It took me a long time. Remember I told you guys, I take Monday as my work day, but it's like a work/rest day because I work on the weekends. Mm-hmm. And it really preps me for the week. When I don't take that Monday, I find the anxiety coming the next day about what's going to happen. I find the rat race is already there. I find it going like this. So I I know what I do for myself, and I suggest that, and Shelly, and I got this from Shelly actually when we first started the show, putting in your schedule for rest.
Amen.
And also, I started putting in my schedule for pleasure, things that make me smile, things that bring me joy. RuPaul's Drag Race, I watch it.
Yes.
You know?
It has to be, we have to prioritize it in a way that is super consistent, subtle, and big. So for example, there's 7 days in the week. We should have one day of the week, you could pick the day where you don't do anything for other people.
Mm-hmm.
Like a whole day. And then every day, you have to have space in your day where you're not doing anything, even for yourself, right? And it's uncomfortable for us, again, especially for women, because we are the ones on the planet that everybody comes to for everything, right? When they need it built, they come to us. When they broke it and they need it fixed, they come to us. When they don't understand where to go, everyone comes to us. And so we have this conditioning that we have to slowly start to reverse by saying, you know what, even if, and it can be hard because like Nikki said, I was looking for someone to talk to, right? And you had the gift of this time for yourself. Even if it's 15 minutes, you start with 15 minutes a day where you don't do anything. And that could be don't do anything, you're laying down, don't do anything, you're watching a show, don't do anything, you're closing your eyes, don't do anything, you're just sitting in a chair, right, just watching air go by your face, right? 15 minutes a day. And then once a week. And if you can't give yourself a whole day, because that's not true, but you might tell yourself that, so I'm gonna go with that version of you, right? I can't take a whole day. Then one day out of the week, you have to give yourself at least 3 hours where you are not doing for yourself or for anybody else at all.
I have a question, Jelly.
Ooh,
Is this a learned behavior, like us not taking a nap? So, you know, I'm about to call her out.
Hold on.
I'm about to call her out.
I've never taken naps during the day. I guess I need to add, yes, Miss Pat. But let me tell you,
I guess that's why I don't take naps, huh?
Let me say this though. It's learned and it's not learned because Crystal and May James is proof that it's not learned.
That is true.
Because if Crystal was doing what her mama did, she'd be resting.
But Crystal was doing what her grandmother did. So it still was learned.
Yes. But the thing is, though, she had the opportunity to learn it from someone. She had a front row seat into her mama's life.
Yeah.
Front row seat. And Crystal tells us all the time, my mother wouldn't talk to me until she did X, Y, and Z for herself. When she came through the door, my mama took her time. Like, she saw it. So she saw both examples and she chose the one that was the least.
Which is interesting that she chose the one that is not.
But there's a story, guys. There's a story we tell ourselves. We tell ourselves that if we don't do it, it won't be done right. There's a million stories, right? We tell ourselves that, well, let me just go ahead and get this out the way so I don't have to bother nobody else with this. Right. We tell ourselves that we are always going to be behind the 8 ball if we don't stay on top of everything. We look at all the stuff that we see, right? Everybody's best life on social media, right? And we say, ooh, look at how much she's doing. I need to do more. This is all lies. This is all lies. But we tell ourselves this.
When we're young children, we're forced to take naps. So the day that we're no longer having to take a nap, we're so happy. We're like, oh, I don't have to.
We know we're heading in the wrong direction.
Right?
I know.
Then
or you could be like my child. My child, I don't think Kelly ever took naps, child.
I didn't take a nap.
She's like Kelly.
Right? Yeah. It was like, you know, how late can I stay up? Like, that's the thing, right? So I don't know what.
It's cool for that age range. It's cool for that age range, right? Kids, teens, young adults. But then it gets real in the field, y'all.
But FOMO is real.
Yeah.
The fear of missing out, like that's real. People, and especially in the middle of the day, when you're like, what if I take these such and such hours? What am I missing in this time? And Listen,
does it?
Oh yeah, but that's not our culture. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, if there was something that we were raised doing, it would be sweat off of our back, and we would just do it. You know what I'm saying? But because we've been just, taught to go, hit it now. What's the phrase? I'll rest when I'm dead.
Right.
You'll be dead sooner than you want.
You be dead, girl.
Right.
Mama E says, as a woman, I think guilt plays a big part in not taking time for ourselves, not being productive every moment of our waking hours. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I told you guys. Remember, way back, I told you guys, me and my wife, we've had some moments, but one particular that we had to go to counseling about was me asking my wife, "How was your day?" And the way that I asked her to her seemed like I was interrogating her. Because let's say it was her day off and she didn't do anything. And so she would get offended by me saying, "What'd you do today?" Or "How was your day?" Or tell me. She was like offended, like for real, like for real, y'all, counseling about it, because it was something that her family grew up like, what's the idle mind is the devil's play area or something like that, whatever that phrase is. So it's like you just sitting around doing nothing. Like, what is happening? What are you doing? And so like she would find herself like sitting on the couch taking a break, and then she'd be like, "Oh, I need to go wash the dishes," or "I need to go A, B, and C," like just something. Like she could never just sit still. And it wasn't until the pandemic where we had to sit still. There was nothing to do. My house was, you can lick the floor, okay? Like there was nothing else to do. And she was still trying to find things to do. And I was just like,
the pandemic fear.
Right?
That is really a large part of where we got so undone around the pandemic. Yes, nobody wanted to get sick. Nobody wanted to die, but nobody wanted to sit still.
Right.
And there was literally nowhere to go. And there was very little, you like Shawnee said, you can lick the floor. It's only so many times you can mop the floor that nobody's because no one came in, no one went out. And imagine that. Sitting still is scary.
But it's funny though, sitting still was scary, but then it was like, oh, this is what I needed.
Yeah.
Like once it was forced. Yeah, then it was like, this is what I need. And then it also, I had to get real with myself. Are you comfortable with yourself?
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes when we get still or we don't have people around us and we don't talk,
it's only you.
It's you. Sometimes, I was reading Will Smith. Will Smith talked about this in his book. You sometimes we have trouble being still and resting because
we don't want to be with
us.
Yeah.
We got and so I found myself during the pandemic spending a little bit more time with myself and also liking myself. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And you got all this other stuff, but you all right. You cool. So
we fill our day up with a lot of distractions.
So we don't have to look behind the curtain and see if we like what's back there. And our inclination is that we won't like it, right? Because we judge ourselves so heavily on these little things, right? Oh, my thighs are too big. Oh, I'm not in enough shape. I'm eating too much sugar. Like we say all the bad shit to ourselves all the time. And then we assume that if we sit still and peek behind the curtain, that we're going to be gravely disappointed with what we see. But the reality is that it's when we sit still and we pull the curtain back a little bit, that's when the qualities that we do love about ourselves that we are totally unaware of because we're so busy, those qualities get to show up and say, hey, you got some shit with you, but
you all right.
beautiful little stuff. You right.
Right.
And when you see it. But we don't want to do it. It's part of our motivation to stay busy. It's like, let me just keep going and not really stop and take a look at who I am and what I am, and really have to measure for myself if I'm where I want to be.
Right.
Right.
Rebecca says we are also in a culture where burnout is seen as a source of pride. I used to feel like that.
You ain't lying, Rebecca.
I used to feel like that. Spoiler, it's not. You don't get anything for it, just gray hair and stomach issues.
Hello. That's a fact, though. It's a fact.
I used to feel like that.
Yeah, I know you did, Nick.
I used to feel like,
listen, I say all the time to my wife, I'm like, child, now I can't think of the name of it, but what's the place that comes over to your house and be like, you won $5,000?
Publishers clearing out.
I'm like, they ain't showing up today, so what you want me to there's no balloons, honey. I'm sorry. There's no for showing up. Like, just do you, honey.
I definitely steal my moments. I was sitting here thinking about it. I steal my moments, and I definitely have been in a place where I'm not afraid to tell people I've done absolutely nothing today.
That's good.
So I do that, but there's a big difference between that and taking a concentrated period of time to give to yourself.
Yeah.
And by the way, that wasn't always that way. I think as I've gotten older, I've just listened to my body, right? So I think there are different parts of what we're talking about today that, different ways you can look at how you take rest and sleep, how you respond to your body or not. But there is a big difference between that and giving yourself a concentrated period of time. Mm-hmm. And for y'all, y'all just spoke about how, you may be afraid of having that quietness around you and it's just you, right? Do you like you? For me, it was more like, it was a period of time I could just give to myself the way I give to everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
It was also a period of time of not letting even myself allow me to be pulled.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what was uncovered.
That hits me, Nikki, because I've talked about this with you guys. I would find myself, so I get excited sometimes when I got to travel. Like the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna be traveling a lot. And I get excited because I like getting on the plane. I'm a girl who likes to fly. And I feel like when I get on the plane, I rest. And sometimes I don't put a movie on because it's like I get giddy. I'm like, you also have that option to get on the internet. And sometimes I do. And sometimes I'm like, let's just sit. I find myself when I'm away in these hotel rooms. I know when I was in California, I think I shared with y'all, I had nothing to do.
Yep.
And my mom was like, well, why don't you, it's so funny. My mom was like, blah, blah, blah. She's telling me rest, give yourself, she's telling me all this stuff. And I found myself sleeping. And I woke up I don't sleep in the afternoon. I slept. Yeah. And guess what? That night I was singing with Kristen Chenoweth. My voice was better. Yep. I was hitting notes that were effortless. And I was like, wow, I could think just by, not only was I resting, I slept. And I realized I don't get to do a lot of that. And one of when you do sleep, mm-hmm. you are so productive. Yeah. That you're so, not even just resting, when you're sleeping, you're so productive. I could think. I didn't feel like when I got up, I was about to cry. I didn't feel like when, something happened that day too, that kind of knocked me off of my guard. And I was just like,
you had all the energy to deal. That's right.
All the energy to deal with it.
You know what? Rest will come to you when you decide how to respond to the demands of your life. What we tend to do,
that's true,
is demands in our life come to us, right? Family, friends, jobs, careers, businesses, they come. And as they arrive, we just give what is being asked in the way that it is presented to us.
Mm-hmm.
That is not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take the demands and first of all, decide if you want to respond at all. And then if you do, you make a decision about how you're going to respond to the demands of your life. Yes, I'll braid your hair, but not till next Sunday. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, I'll help you with your homework, but after I take this bath.
Totally right.
Yes, I'll do this with you. I can give you 15 minutes right now, and then you'll have to find somebody else. We don't do that. We don't take control of how we respond to the demands because they're going to keep coming, right? Life just, we're in a digital age. Life just keeps coming faster and faster. But rest will show up with ease when we make the decision about how we want to respond to each demand that comes to us.
You're so right.
You are so right. And for me, I started for my business, entrepreneur, I'm starting to do. Oh, I got a little ping.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to develop a team. Oh, I'm about to cry. Mm-hmm. I'm starting to develop a team. Mm-hmm. And one of my team members is on here watching. And as I'm developing that team, I feel like that's allowing me.
Your life's coming back.
The demands that come into my life.
Your life's coming back.
My life is coming back.
Yeah.
And remember, Shelley always says, put out in the universe what it is you want, put out to God what it is you want. Don't worry about the how. I put that out into the universe, what I wanted. And I didn't know that the how was going to come in that way. And it did.
That's right.
And I'm grateful for it.
Just now that I am taking moments of rest because, I mean, unfortunately, it's taken to whatever period of time in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I have consciously been making decisions on everything that comes my way, especially within the last 2 years,
mm-hmm.
on how I'm going to respond to it.
Yes.
Many times I might want to fix something, see how I can help.
Mm-hmm.
Try to understand it, right? And I ended up in a place where that's not what I wanted to do anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, and there is a point where you breathe when you make that decision and you stay true to it.
Yes.
I didn't see those as moments of rest, but it is rest because you're creating the space of that taxing routine.
Yep.
Right? That we
that just made me think of when I was on my show, and I would get so anxious riding the train.
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't do it. And so when I would get to work, I would be so tight, so like just annoyed, so this, so that, just, and then my performance was lacking because of my attitude in the commute to get there and like all that kind of stuff. So I made a decision. I went and bought a car. This was before I had a car in New York. I went and bought a car, and I started driving to work. And it was a sacrifice. It was a tremendous sacrifice, but I was also, it was just me and Autumn. We didn't have kids, that whole thing. So, and I was at work. So I would just leave 2 hours early and sit in the, the free parking that they have in New York, like free after 6 or whatever, but you have to like get there at 5 o'clock and be there for an hour to get the parking spot. So I would leave the house and I would leisurely drive into the city, and then quiet or with music, whatever it may be, just leisurely, no rush. And then I would get into these parking spots like around 5 o'clock, and I would sit there for an hour, and literally every time I'd be like knocked out for a good hour. And then I would get up and be like, come on, y'all, let's do the show. Have so much energy, so much brighter. And it's just hitting me now, like making the definitive choice.
How you were going to meet this demand.
I'm like, child, the only reason I got to ride a train is if the president is in the city and I can't get down the street. Something like that. But I just made that decision, but it's making me think of it right now that it is a choice that we choose to or not to deal with the circumstance that's making us not rest, or to make a solution or to get rest in said circumstance.
And I love that, Shani, like you did what Lachelle said.
Yeah.
You handled the demand that was coming to your life. You made a choice. Because the queen had to show up at the Lion King, honey. She had to show up. She had to show up powerfully and unapologetically, honey.
Amen.
Maya says, I make rest part of my daily routine, and I decide when I need to rest and rejuvenate. I only learned this while being faced with my own mortality, not once, but 3 times in this lifetime. You see me, time different, and acknowledge me more. Yes.
That's facts. That is facts.
That is facts. That is
and
facts.
We don't want to have to be up against some dangerous point in our life, right? Where we're driving without any sleep, where our body is breaking down. We don't want to get to that point before we say, I deserve to rest.
But y'all, I have a question. And I was looking for it, like I was doing some research about it. And I had someone text me and say to me, Nikki, okay, I don't sleep. Like, I don't sleep. Like I lay down, I close my eyes, and 4 hours and I'm up. Why aren't we sleeping? I know for me, this does happen. I'm starting to get to a point that rest will come when you decide to handle the demands that come into your life. Sleep will come when you decide to handle the demands in your life as well. And surrounding yourself around people that will take that load off, that keeps going like this. What do you say to people that say, I don't sleep, I can't sleep? What do we say? Go ahead,
say it to me too, because that's me. Not pregnant, because that this situation demands something different. Like you fall asleep not even knowing, okay? But before, I could sleep for 3 hours, 4 hours, and be gone and doing my thing. And my wife always says at night, she's like, turn your brain off. And I'm like, how are you telling me just to turn my brain off? Like, I don't understand what that means. I get all, what are you talking about? Because she literally, when she's ready to go to bed, she's like, doo-doo,
me too,
and turns it off, and she sleeps, and she puts in her mind, I need to get up at 6 o'clock. And literally at 6 o'clock, she's like, good morning.
Yep.
And I'm like, houseway.
But I think they're connected, right? Because I find a lot of people who talk about not sleeping are going through what you described, Nikki, with a mind. But see, when you're not resting all day and you're doing all the things and you're avoiding the thoughts that you really need to be having about your life, when you lay down to go to sleep, those thoughts come up.
Yeah, they're still there.
Because you ain't deal with them all day. So they're like, oh, you still? Here we come. And then your mind is going because you didn't give no space for that during the day. So it's not going anywhere, right? The things you stress, the things you're worried about, the plans you want to make, they're not going anywhere. So you could be busy all day, running, and pushing all that stuff to the side. And when you finally have to lay down, that stuff is coming up. And that's why a lot of people lay in their bed and don't actually sleep. They toss, they turn, the mind just keeps yelling at them. So again, it's connected. If you're not resting, you're not sleeping.
Yeah,
you're not resting.
List.
Say it again.
I get up and I start finishing the list of the things that need to get done because I want them done. Somebody said something to me the other day. Why are you pushing yourself to do that? You're tired. I said, because I don't want it to, I don't want it over. Like, I don't want to feel it pulling on me. And the days that I do get the best sleep is when I've done what in a prioritized manner has to get done. And then I decide in general, and this is independent of their things to do, I just let it go. Like you decide that you have to let it go. Like nobody's gonna die, nothing, bad is going to happen at the end of the day.
That's the thing.
Mhm.
We think everything is so urgent.
That's
And if I don't do it, it's not gonna get done. That is not true.
But in general, it could even be something you're stressing over, right? It's the decision to let it go, and let it go in a means of not that you don't care, right? And that it's not going to contribute or help, but let it go in the means of owning it.
Or maybe you don't care.
Or maybe you don't care.
We don't let ourselves say. I could tell you 100 times over, I don't care about a lot. And honestly, it's true. It's really one of the reasons why I feel so much energy, because my energy is mine, because there's so much stuff that I could be doing and connected to and supporting, and I don't care. And it's okay to say you don't care, right? It's okay. It's 100% okay. But we are told in so many ways by people we know, by people we love, by the messages in our media, that you have to care. And if you don't care, something's wrong with you. You don't have to care about everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care if people come to my house and my laundry's not done, or I didn't sweep the floor. I don't care. You don't like it, don't come. You can come. If it's no good, you can go. Okay. Do you see what I'm saying? It's okay not to care. I do care about, you'll have energy for, but we got to stop caring about everything.
Oh, you're right. I am the total opposite. Even my daughter tells me, Mommy, you care too much. You care about people too much. You care about everything too much. You care too much.
Yeah.
You're right.
No, I care. But you look, Johnny, y'all know I'm like,
But Lachelle raises a good point, because when you care, and in my case, I'll speak for me, when you care so much about other people and things you can't control, or circumstances or situations, or trying to help them, when you care too much, you own it.
I told you
to own it.
Exactly, Nikki. I told you about that day. I had all my fencers on one day, and they all had, their own stuff going on. And I came home that day, and Billy said, "What's wrong?" And I busted out crying, and everything that was wrong had nothing to do
with you.
And see, now you just hit it. That's
nothing to do with
me. It has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
And you home crying.
And I'm like, what? And then I'm like,
and so then Billy's like, "So what's wrong with you?"
Right.
Exactly. We should get that to ourselves.
I know.
I know I do that. I know this is something that I have been working on but the pandemic definitely helped strip a big portion of that tactic that I have, or that quality that I carried for such a long time. My wife literally just said this like a couple days ago. I asked Shelly, so maybe a couple weeks since Shelly was here, and my wife was like, "How many people do you talk to in a day?" And I was like, "Huh?" And she was like, No. I want to know, how many people do you like quote, like your people that you talk to today? I was like, "Well, I have our family, which is like," and we're all in like polos. So it's like 16 people on this polo, 5 on this polo, 10 on this polo, whatever. She was like, "But you're interacting with all these people every single day." Yeah. And so when I counted it, it was like 30 people. And I was like, whew, that's why I'm so tired, child. Because it's like, just think, on our polo, we talk. It's 5 of us. Each of us have a story every day, or, what happened or whatever. Just think of that going multiple times. Now you're talking to your sister and your mama. Now you're talking to this group of people that you care about, this group of people, and you're just being pulled in so many directions. And I'm just like, you don't realize how much of the pie is being sliced off for other people until it's like really put in your face like that. Like, I literally had no clue that I had a conversation with 30 people a day.
Listen, Linda, let me tell you something. This is why I'm loving my life so much where I live, because I've said this, I don't know if I've said this here before, but when I moved to North Carolina, it is the first time in my entire life that I lived alone. I never lived alone. I was me and my mama, then me, my mama, and my daddy. Me, my mama, my daddy, my sister. My daddy died. Keisha went to college. My friend moved in. My kid, I got married. He moved in. We had kids. Child. And when I tell you, one of the things that I realized in being where I am, where this whole place is for me and there's no one here for me to talk to, I literally realized that all of those years of my life, I prioritized my peace, but I had to work to hold up those walls.
Yeah.
People from coming into that space. Now I don't have to hold up walls. It's like I've reached a whole nother level of peace. It's amazing, right? Yeah. And I mean, I did it because my peace was important to me. So I met the demands that were coming at me, and I decided how to engage with them. But even that was work. And I'm telling you, we all have to get to a place where how we are living our lives sets the tone for what we allow in and the space and energy we take for ourselves. That we have to get to that space. But it's little steps, y'all. Like, it's little steps. It's those 15 minutes. It's a nap once a week. Start small.
Yeah.
Start small.
I think that's great, Jelly. Start small. If it's getting a calm app to meditate for 5 minutes, start small. If it's taking a nap one day a week and then you realize how great that nap is, let me take it another day. Let's start small. If it's you're overwhelmed and you need some support, get the cleaning lady, call Shani. She'll give you Sarah's name. It's developing a team. It's starting small. It's like Nikki, taking that moment to just be. And it's also, I love this. Rest will come, sleep will come when you decide to handle the demands that come into your life.
Don't just let them take over.
Don't just let them take over. I think this is great. And another way that you can help yourself, Rebecca said it's all about baby steps. Another way that you can help yourself get those things that we talked about is go to Lachelle's page. For real. Journal, and they will support you 365 days a week.
A year.
Ordinary. And starting small and taking baby steps. For real. And handling the demands that are going on in your life. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
It's been a great show. Those of you guys that missed it, go rest. And it's funny, our girl Chrissy's not here today and she had some things to do and she was on a plane and she was going to get on and we like,
no.
Rest. Hang out with your honey. Do your thing. I told her to go wobble and rest. She's going to a wedding. I said, go wobble
and then rest.
Then go rest.
Rest differently for everybody. So keep that in mind too.
Yes.
In here, people have said to me, why do you have to go to your daughter's games all the time? Well, because that is my life.
That's your joy.
That's your joy. That brings peace to you.
It's other stuff that you want to handle. So that is part of your rest.
It is. So everybody define it for yourself.
Amen.
Define it for yourself. So we kicked off the day with the birthday. So, we got to end with a little birthday too. I'm trying to be DJ John Quick here.
I love it. I love your skills.
Hey, when I give these keys, homeboy, don't move my car, man. I'm right in the front. It is. Don't move, man. Oh, baby, what's your name? Oh, girl, it's your birthday.
Shout it out to Shelly if you missed it at the beginning.
We don't buy no drinks at the bar. We got that dough. Let me hear you say.
And I tried to do, because my mom always says, play the songs that everybody knows. But it's not coming up, Shelly.
Look at it.
What's that?
Come and put your name on it. Put your name on it. Come and put your name on it. Your name, but you wanna put your name on it.
Hey! Watch it, Shawnee. That baby getting down.
I be like, you guys.
Come on, Shelly. We're in with this one. We're in with this one.
Oh, you are killing it.
We're in with this one.
Oh. Look at Shawty. Shawty like, it's easy.
Isn't she lovely?
I tried to say happy birthday by Stevie, but it wouldn't come out.
It's fine. I love Isn't She Lovely? Oh, I love you, sisters. Love.
Love you.
Have a beautiful day, Kelly.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Michelle.
Thank you.
We wish
Thank you for all the birthday wishes in the chat. I'm going to go read them. And fill myself with love from our Ladies First Chit-Chat Crew family.
Keisha said that last song my mom used to sing to her in her when Shelly stomach.
I didn't even
All the time. All the time. I know Birdie's in her living room crying right now.
There she is.
I know it. I love you, Mama.
Go get your journal.
Definitely.
Shop.michelleWooten.com.
Come on, y'all. Let's change our lives. Let's elevate together.
Yes, let's elevate together. Shop.michelleWooten.com. Go get your rest today. Shawnee, get your rest. Nikki, and get your rest and enjoy your baby.
Jada.
Yes, Shelly, let them shine on you and enjoy you today. I'm gonna get some rest too.
Good.
Everybody get some rest. We
Mwah.
love y'all, and we will see you.
Go ahead, get that yawn in. Get going.
Oh,
We will see you.
pages. Sorry.
They're yawning. Everybody's resting.
That came out of nowhere. I'm so sorry, you guys.
That's perfect.
Y'all next week.
Who's first? Ladies. Who's first? Ladies. Who's first? Ladies. What time is it? It's time for the ladies. 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 It's the Ladies First Chit-Chat Crew. It's time for the ladies. 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 It's the Ladies First Chit-Chat Crew. L-A-D-I-S, I-S, I-S, L-A-D-I-S, and we're up first. L-A-D-I-S, I-S, I-S, L-A-D-I-S, and we're up first. Speak what you want. Be great. Speak what you want. Be great. Speak what you want. Be great. And we're up first. Bonjour, unboxed. Bonjour, unboxed. Bonjour, unboxed. And we're up first. Yes, ladies. That's dope. Yes, ladies. That's dope. Yes, ladies. That's dope. And we're up first. It's time for the ladies. 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 It's the Ladies First Chit-Chat Crew. It's time for the ladies. 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 It's the Ladies First Chit-Chat Crew. One time for the ladies in the house. Two time make the people scream and shout. Lachelle, Chandra, Crystal with Nikki. On Boss, Ed, May, and Nikki. up first. Ladies, Ladies, and we're up first.
Bye, y'all. Stay Shelly. We love you.
I love